Welcome to All Things Mental,
a podcast that honors the messy, beautiful, nonlinear journey of healing. Because healing isn't about fixing what's broken.
It's about discovering what you need in this moment and learning to trust yourself along the way.
Here, we share stories, resources, and reminders that you're never alone on your path.
So take a breath, lean in, and remember,
you are not broken.
You're just becoming a more beautiful version of your higher self. We're your co-hosts, Michele
and Leanna,
here to remind you that
you're never alone
on your healing journey. Hello, and welcome back to All Things Mental. Today's episode, we are going to be discussing all things fun, and I feel like the title itself speaks for itself.
Yes, the best part of life is having fun, right, Michele?
Absolutely, and things have been really heavy right now in our reality, so we are essentially going to escape it for a little bit. So, Leanna, what do you do for fun?
Oh my gosh, good question. And yes, I totally agree. It's a perfect time to have this discussion. So fun for me looks like having hobbies. And I say that like very succinctly because like for a long time in my adult life, I didn't have hobbies. I feel like the years after college, I didn't have hobbies because I just focused on work and getting work done. And then I would come home and like watch TV and like, yeah, that's a fun activity, but that's not, in my opinion, a hobby. Because I mean, it could be a hobby for somebody, but not for me because it just like, it felt too mindless, you know, like I want to be intentional about my hobbies and my fun now. And at this point in my life, in my 30s.
Absolutely. I think it's that I resonate with that so much because in my opinion, I think that TV and watching a show or whatever, that's entertainment. And the difference between entertainment and fun. Yes, you can be entertained and have fun while you're doing it, but like there's a difference between like watching something on TV and maybe going to see a Broadway show or, you know, hanging out with your friends at the park or whatever, or what have you. So I totally get that. I think for me, when it comes to hobbies, I didn't really have them until I started my healing journey. Because I was stuck in survival mode for so many years without even realizing it. And when I finally realized it, I was just like, okay, I don't have anxiety anymore, or at least I don't experience anxiety as much as I used to. What do I do with this time? And through it, I discovered painting. My husband was a huge help because video games and yeah, like my most recent obsession is Legos, but I can't do that during the week. I need to like just like play like a mindless game. But to me, video games is obviously like a hobby. Like you have to be I want to do things where I'm present. Like we talked about this before we started recording that for the first time in a while, I mindlessly scrolled before we got on. It has been a minute since I've done that.
Yeah, no, I agree. You want to be present in your hobbies. And that's where like our most recent episode with Mary, where we talked about being in love with yourself and in love with like, maybe not your body all of the time, but like when you're present, you're like in love with life. And this is what is so powerful because that's what we keep referring back to, this life worth living thing. Because then when we're happy and having fun and doing something, we're present and we're not thinking about the worries of the world. We're actually thinking about what makes us feel happy and alive. And that to me is a huge act of self-worth. And that also makes us just feel better because I totally agree with you. Like being on the healing journey, like it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I started to really develop hobbies. And now I have a life worth living and it's in the hobbies and it's in the fun.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Like, I mean, for me, working out and being present with like the girl I work out with on YouTube or like with like my sets or whatever, like that to me, it's not really a hobby because I've mentioned this on episodes like before that I wake up every morning and I do gratitude. I wake up every morning and try to do something that brings me joy, but I want to experience joy more than I want to like do joy. And as far as moving my body goes, like that's just part of it. Like I don't really consider it a hobby. It's something that I do to move my body. I'm present in it, absolutely, but it's not really like a hobby. My hobbies is like Legos, video games. I play Dungeons and Dragons, and it's just a fun escape. And when I first started playing Dungeons and Dragons, I remember being so like into like, okay, here's my character's backstory. They have a really messed up relationship with their parents, and they are out for the like I would make it more dramatic than my actual life, obviously. But like I was using Dungeons and Dragons to like kind of like heal parts of myself. And I remember one time we were playing a version of Dungeons and Dragons, because there's so many different systems. But I got really, really into it, and I remember my husband's best friend being really annoyed with something that I had done in the campaign or whatever, and we kind of like all had like a conversation, like either before it or after. I don't even remember what emotion he was feeling, but anyways, I remember breaking down and telling him why and this character was so important to me. And he gave me a hug and basically kind of pointed at my husband and said, "You should have told me. You should have told us." And it kind of like led to like a heated argument, but at the same time I was like, no, I asked him not to. But now I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, so she's a witch and she does cards and like she just wants to have a good time and like have like a good like my backstories are like no longer as heavy as they were. And I've noticed that as I've played Dungeons and Dragons over the years.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I I feel you, and just, you know, when you're deeply in it, it almost makes it hard to think of anything else. Like when I say deeply in it, I mean like in the healing journey,
Yeah.
in the depths of it, it's hard to then come out of it and, you know, have a different reframe. But you said something really that struck me where you were like, I don't do joy, I experience joy, or I don't remember exactly what you said,
I
but I
think
want,
that's
is that what I said? Is that what you said? Okay. Because like I'm curious to know if you can elaborate on that a little bit more.
so I try to be present, and then the joy just happens. It's kind of like what Mary mentioned in our last episode with her, where she like you lose yourself in the
Mm.
moment. I lose myself in the joy.
Ooh, that's
And
powerful.
that's really powerful. I don't remember if it was, I think it was Chelsea, my hypnotherapist, and she was like, "You're trying to," or it might have been my therapist. It's one of the two of them. But one of them said to me, "It sounds like you're trying to do joy versus just experiencing joy." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, you called me out. That's true."
Oh.
But I'm at the point now where I'm getting much better at experiencing it. Like I glimmer every morning. I originally wanted to do that in my evening routine. I'm like, no, because what if something happens after I go to bed? Like I wake up and Sally was being silly, or my husband wakes me up and he has ice cream, because he'll do that sometimes, or like whatever or what have you. Like, no, I'm just going to wait till when I wake up in the morning. I will journal my glimmers from the previous day.
Hmm. That's a great way to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. And glimmers has also become part of my spiritual practice. Like I really feel like at this point, like everything that I do, because we mentioned this in our all things spiritual episode, that like, everything for the most part is really part of your spiritual experience. Like not everything, but for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. There's such a way to see it, like
Perspective.
I yes, absolutely. I have my hobbies, which are right now in my life, pickleball, mahjong, American mahjong, and Fortnite. Those three things are wildly different.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yes, but they all bring me joy in different ways, right? Like I don't really have a workout routine, but I play pickleball as my workout, and that to me feels like a joyful movement that
For you.
Exactly. Exactly. It does work for me, and it makes sense at this point in my life because I could play 1 or 2 times a week and feel strong and powerful and amazing and just happy. And if I take a couple weeks off or almost a month, if I take like longer than 2 weeks off, like yeah, I'm sore that next time I play. Like, like that's real. But I enjoy the game. I like the strategy. I like getting those satisfying points. Like it's just such a good feeling, especially when especially when the guys on the court don't expect
So you're
me.
gonna be a badass?
Exactly. When they don't expect me to be a badass, it's like they're so impressed. And it just like, not that I'm trying to impress anybody
Yeah,
but myself, but it's like, it's just always amazing because I'm like, you underestimate me. And then I'm good. Like, and then we win. Like, hello.
that's amazing. I love that so much. Like, yeah, I love working out. And for me, like, it's when I do Pilates and when I do HIIT that I'm more into it. Like, strength, I'm like, okay, you gotta be serious, you gotta focus. But like, when it comes to like Pilates and the HIIT, I'm more like into it and excited. Like, I'm currently like in like a Bridgerton, like Bridgerton's like my focus right now, okay? Because as we record this, the season 4 episode part 1 premieres tomorrow. And I'm debating whether or not I'm going to watch it or wait until the end of February. Like it's a whole ordeal. But I'm currently right now reading the book, the second book, The Viscount Who Loved Me, I think it's called. And like it's based off the second season, obviously, and obviously I know the books came out first. I know the books came out first, but like I did a Bridgerton Pilates with the girl I work out with on YouTube the other day because I've been sick, and I was like, okay, Monday wasn't the best day for me, and I was like, I'm making up for it on Tuesday, and that workout did legs and it did arms, and I had missed my arm day, and I'm like, okay, and I did it, the one that brings me joy, because it had been like over a week since I had worked out. And whenever I like stop doing something, that's something else, like working out, I'll do something that I enjoy doing to move my body and then work myself back up to doing like the strength and all that.
That's amazing. I can't wait to watch the next season of Bridgerton now that you just told me when it's going to
You didn't
premiere.
know what your face was doing. Like, okay, yeah, no, it drops tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
Oh
And
my God. Okay.
my husband is such, like, I've gotten into so many of my shows. He has seen He hasn't seen all of Gilmore Girls, but he has opinions on the fact that Logan is better, and we debate that he's not, because I'm Team Jess. But like, I got him into Bridgerton. This is actually a really funny story. Um, I It came up as like a suggestion one time on Netflix, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll put it on. So I put it on. I was hooked by the end of the first episode. Not even. I was like, oh my god, the Duke is so pretty. I love him. And he was actually in a movie they did recently called Dungeons and Dragons, and that was the only reason why I went to go see it. It wasn't because I was a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I'm like, he's in it. I have to go. Anyways, but like, I'm watching it, and my husband gets home at the episode where they get married, where they're not exactly clothed most of that episode. Okay, and he walks in the room and goes, "You've been holding out on me?" And I'm like, "No, this is episodes and episodes of built up tension." He sits down like he's going to watch it and not have to sit through the built up tension. And I'm like, no. So I had to suffer again. I went back to episode 1 of season 1 and got him to watch it. And then when season 2 dropped, we binged it together. He didn't watch season 3 because he's not the hugest fan of the couple it focuses on, which I learned recently is book 4, not book 3. And
Okay.
but he's really excited about the episode that's dropped, the season that's dropping tomorrow.
Hey, oh my gosh. Yes, my husband got me into the show as well, so I'm like, damn, like I need to watch this now that it's coming out again. So
Queen Charlotte.
the what?
Queen Charlotte.
No, I haven't seen that.
The spinoff. It's about the queen and her king, and like how the early stages of their marriage.
Interesting.
It's cute.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. I love a good show. Like we just finished watching it was season 5 of Emily in Paris, so that was a sweet little show.
I've seen season 1 of that.
Yeah. It's a good one if you're into it, but it also like I don't know. It is what it is. It's not like my favorite show, but we've watched it and all, and we've kept up with it, so that's been good. But
Do you have a show that brings you joy that no matter how many times well, first off, do you rewatch shows?
not really.
Okay, because
I
I do.
have rewatched Gilmore Girls. I've watched it twice. I watched How I Met Your Mother twice, and I think that's it. I don't. Yeah, I'm not the biggest like TV person. Um, just because I prioritize other things like social interaction with people and like pickleball, like I said before. And for the first time ever, I'm hosting a mahjong night with some new friends that I've made who actually want to play. Like I already set up, I borrowed a card table from our landlord, and because my mom is going to order me one for my birthday, she told me. I was like, oh my God, yay. So I'm going to have a real card table of my own and chairs. So I'm not just in a barren room right now with my, I'm in my dining room as I record. But anyway, I'm having my first night of mahjong tomorrow with new friends. I've taught them 2 other nights last weekend, so they're aware. I think 2 other people have learned with me in other occasions. So I think we're gonna have like a few, it's a 4-person game, so like it's very exciting to like have people to actually play with that are my age, because mahjong, American mahjong, is very like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even like middle-aged women play most of the time I've come across. And I'm like, nothing wrong with that, but I'm 30 and I would like to make friends that are my age that would want to play, like,
Yeah.
so it's just how I'm having fun these days. And it's been really enjoyable and joyful, enjoyable and joyful. I made a word.
And joyful. I like it.
Oh man.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I
yeah.
during the week with how like mentally and emotionally draining my job is, I don't usually like have the mental energy for it in the evening. Like the joke that I always make is I don't have enough spoons, and my husband's like, "You don't have enough spell slots," and I'm like, "Not everything is Dungeons and Dragons. Not everything is Dungeons and Dragons." But like, it's a good point because like you have only so much energy for the day, and I'm at the point now where I'm not giving as much energy when other people aren't meeting me halfway. So yeah, and that's been honestly really helpful and like a game changer. But like when I get home in the evening, like last night I tried playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is a video game that's essentially Dungeons and Dragons. But like the part I was at in the game was like really annoying me. Like my husband told me what to do like before, and then I tried it and it wasn't working. I got like annoyed. So I was like, I'm just gonna put on Vampire Diaries. So I just put on Vampire Diaries and watch that. But I like try to like play a video game for a little bit. Like tonight while I was eating, I listened to my book and just sat there and enjoyed the evening before I hopped on with you.
Yay. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, I mean, having joy and fun can look different for everyone, and they look different in when we have enough spoons. Like I'm the type of person, I've learned through my Aura ring that I'm an early evening type. That's when I typically do the most. And I was like interested about that because I am not a morning person. My alarm goes off now. I tried at 6:30. I'm like, 6:45. Let's try that. And it's just so goddamn early. And I'm like not happy about it every day. Because then
Yeah.
I need to lay in bed. I'm not the type of person that can just wake up and then jump out of bed. Like I need to like be on my phone for a little bit, like not necessarily scrolling, but like I just check email, I check notifications that happen through the night. Like I get up because I get like 3 different news outlets in the morning, and I kind of do a quick skim of, and it's one of them's literally called The Skim. And yeah, I quickly skim. Yeah, they're really great. They're a female-owned company based out of New York City, and they're really amazing with their news. So I skim the news, and I read the highlights of happenings of from overnight and whatever happened in the past day and things that they need you to know about. I subscribe to the Associated Press, like I'm somewhat aware of what's happening with the alerts and whatever, but nevertheless, it doesn't like stress me out in the morning. I don't know what.
It would stress me out in the morning. When you said that, I was like, I could not do
No.
that. Like,
For some reason, it just like helps me wake up when I'm stimulating my brain. Like it doesn't like necessarily make me feel bad, luckily. I mean, if something dramatic happens, like that's obviously terrible. But
yeah.
like most of the time it's just, okay, I'm stimulating my brain, I'm waking up. And then within 15, 20 minutes to 25 minutes, I try to get out of bed then. And then I'm like, okay, I'm out of bed. And then I usually lay out my clothes the night before, and then I get dressed and I deal with that. And I brush my teeth, I have breakfast, I plan my life for the day, and then I make my way to work. And it just,
I love you. I plan my life for the day. I'm only laughing and saying I love you because like I do, but also like same. I do that in like the evening. Okay, what do I gotta do tomorrow? And I've gotten better at using my planner. So that's been helpful. But yeah, like the only news that I will read is the good news. Because I'm very aware about what's going on in the world. But at the same time, like I don't want to like read about it. I just can't.
yeah,
So basically what I do is my husband and my best friend that used to be my roommate, they're both like, we will let you know. And I'm like, I'm well aware. Like I get most of my news from a group chat that I'm in with like all my friends that are always talking about that. And if I have the energy, I'll read it. If I don't have the energy, I'll be like, nope, not dealing with that today. So
that's a good boundary though, like to acknowledge when you have, I feel like that's a sign of emotional maturity when you acknowledge that you have certain amount of spoons that you're like, I'm not up for this. And ever since I got my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and I made the switch from Apple to Samsung and Android, I'm like, hell yes, because I don't feel, I mean, it's an incredible phone and I'm on my new laptop. Like I have incredible devices, like still working on paying them off. That's the goal for 2026. I have financial priorities. Let's go. But
let's go, girl.
yes. But in terms of like the boundary I now have is like the phone, like I feel like it's not as addicting. Like I can't explain it. Like it's a completely different ecosystem that just makes me feel like I can actually be present in life and
Yeah.
really enjoy what's happening. Like I'm in our discussion and I've seen a couple notifications pop up and I'm like, oh geez. But I'm like, I don't need, but they're like, it's a notification preview. It doesn't actually tell me what it's happening. And I'm like, perfect. Like I don't need to know right now. Like I'm present with you.
I have notifications come through on my computer for WhatsApp, and I'm like, I need to turn those off because like it can be distracting. And I'm like, yes, I get it. People message me. I will message you back later.
Exactly.
Like I'm being honest
boundary.
right now with you. Like I started doing that so much more often, like, and it's to the point that it's now a habit that a couple of weeks ago, like my husband called me and he was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, but like you're not texting me back. And I was just like, I'm on with what's their face watching a movie. I'm being present. And he was like, oh, okay, just making sure.
Oh,
Okay, you're adorable. I love you. It was like,
I
just
mean,
so
my husband will check on me sometimes too with like if I'm in the car for too long and he gets a notification from Life 360 that I'm home, it's like he's like he'll call me, he'll be like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just on the phone, or I'm doing something in the car, like I need a minute, like, so it's sweet when they check in, right? Because
course,
like
yeah.
that's a good thing.
Most of the time, like when he calls me, I'm like, oh my God, who died? Is he okay? Like, because like we don't usually call each other. I call him more than he calls me. I'm not gonna lie. But like, yeah. So like when he called me, I was like, why is he calling me right now? So I was like, hang on, and I picked up, and he's like, hey, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm watching a movie. I'm trying to be present.
Aw, that's sweet. That's really sweet. Yeah, I mean, Joy is all about experiencing the present moment. I love that we've defined it as such because I didn't really think about it until we've had that conversation with Mary. And then when you
Yeah,
said
like that whole
that was
episode essentially felt like the theme of that episode, I feel like, was presence. And
Mm,
and when she made the comment about like you have to be present in pickleball or like you could get hurt, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like you have to be present when you're doing Pilates, at least the Pilates that I do, because if you're not like engaging your core, you will fall over. You will
wow.
hurt yourself, but you will also fall over, which isn't as, intense as like pickleball, where like, you have a ball coming at your face or knee or
Yeah.
whatever. I
Yes,
want
that's
to try
true.
it so badly. I mentioned that in the episode with you and Mary. I want to try it, so I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Totally. You can buy like a set of 2 good paddles like on Amazon for very cheap, like 25 bucks, and it comes with balls, like in a little carrying case. Like I've had that before. I actually sold my other one to somebody for like $12. So I was like, I only paid like 25 for the set, and like you could have the half, like, here you go. So I was like, that works. But yeah, I mean, it's all about being present in that game, but also like you want to just be focused, and like it's so joyful when you have that satisfying, like I said, that satisfying point. It's just like, yes, let's
Yeah.
go. I always go, yeah. And I feel that way about Fortnite too. Like I didn't really talk about that yet. In terms of how I've always been a gamer like my whole life. But I recently got into Xbox, and I say recently, like in the past year and a half, that I got into Xbox, and we got me my own Xbox, like a better version, the latest version or whatever, the all digital Xbox
What
Series
Xbox
X.
are they on now?
It's the
Are they
Series
younger them?
X.
Because I know like for PlayStation, it's PS5 now.
Yeah, it's the Series X. All digital. It's white. I love it. And I have the Elite, the Pro controller is Nintendo Switch. The Elite controller is Xbox, and yet, it has the flappy paddles, and I like have like a way to do it. And it's just so like my husband taught me all
Look
the
at your
ways.
face as you're talking about it. Like I love watching people talk about things that bring them joy because it's just like, oh my goodness, like you can tell like how like one of my favorite things in the world to do is when I'm at like Disney is like I people watch, and watching kids see something or like have a realization of something is just like so much fun. Like
Aw,
I'm blessed to be able to go to Disney essentially whenever I want. But like, yeah, like that's one of my favorite things to do when I'm at Disney. Or this weekend I'm going to Epic Universal and I haven't been yet, and I'm like so excited. Like I know my inner child's gonna come out. Like I was literally telling my husband, I'm buying myself something this weekend. I don't know if it's gonna be a Mario thing or if it's gonna be a How to Train Your Dragon thing, but I'm getting myself something this weekend, and I'm so excited. Like I'm not gonna like force it, but if I see something that I actually want, I'm not going to deny myself that joy.
good. You deserve it. You really like, from just knowing you all these years and just our conversations, like I feel like, yeah, you budget well, and like
You.
you do what you can when you can, and I think this is one of those times that you're gonna like really let it all out, and I
And like
appreciate
also
it.
like spread the joy. Like for instance, 2 weekends ago, we went up to visit one of my best friends that lives half here, half New Jersey, and I had like a certain amount of money to spend at the crystal shop that we went to. And I could have kept all that money to myself, but I told my husband, hey, this is how much we have to spend. And I also treated him. And so, I mean, like, I didn't have to do that. And I even said that to him because a couple of days later, he made like a comment. I'm like, I paid for our shopping spree this weekend. So don't even. He was like, yeah, you have a point.
Aw. Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Aw, that's so nice. I know. I love like when
Being able to give back the joy.
totally, that's you exactly said what was on my mind, because like it's just so special when like we can share in the joy and the fun. Like my husband has been a gamer obviously his whole life. He's gamed way more than me, and he's taught me everything I know about the Fortnite and the controller and everything. And I'm not the best, but like when I get a kill and I like if I hit somebody from Jadeep, I'm like, yes, let's go. You're like, what?
I'm laughing because there was this like, so you know how like sometimes when you're on like Instagram or TikTok, those videos pop up of like questions that I asked my partner and like you want to then ask your partner. So one of them was, what is something that I do that I suck at, but you won't tell me because you know because I'm it's adorable. He said without skipping a beat, oh, video games.
Oh no.
And I was like, and he asked me the same question. I'm like, I could say the same thing about you. And he's like, yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not the best at them, but I'm better at them than you are.
Yeah. Aw.
And but yeah, no, like he likes watching me like make mistakes in video games and then like figure it out and like fix it and all of that. Because like it's a process of growing. Like I remember when I first started building my Legos, I would get so frustrated at first. But like now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I can take it apart. I can figure this out. I got this. Like I'm currently building the Nightmare Before Christmas set, and I'm so excited. And all I have right now is the little tub that they kidnap Mr. Santa Claus in. That's all I have built right now. That was
Oh, wow.
the first part of the build. And it's interesting because like it's not even that big of a build. There's three, for those of you who don't know when it comes to Legos, usually you get one like booklet and it's like step 1 through step whatever. And it like tells you at the beginning, okay, now you're on this bag, you need these parts, and that's how you put it together. This particular set has 3 booklets, so it's 1 per each building. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And there's obviously a specific order you need to build them, and you can't just pick like whatever. You have to start with the one that says bag 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, like I used to get frustrated with it, and now I'm like, and painting, like I also paint, but like I don't paint for joy. I've learned not very early, but like recently, I would say like probably in the last year or two, that for painting for me is a way of me expressing my emotions when I can't journal about them. Like basically when words are not enough. Like I do like essentially, I guess it's called abstract painting.
Okay. Wow. I'd love to, if you ever want to share, like, I'd love to see, something that you've made or like when you're done with your Lego, like, I
Oh yeah,
want to share.
absolutely. Like something that I eventually want to do is like my background is just books, and eventually it'll be actual shelves that are in my home. And my husband was like, you should like put your Lego sets up there, and then like you can add them, and then people might be like, oh my god, she finished that one. I'm like, I don't think people will actually do that, but who knows, we'll see. Because I never thought I would become a Lego enthusiast, and here I am. I dated a guy once that was like obsessed with Legos, and I'm like, this guy is weird. But I'm not as bad as he was. Like he was asking me for a Lego set in March. We had just met in February. He was asking for it for Christmas, and I was like, dude, it's March. Like, can we slow down?
Oh, awkward.
Yes, extremely awkward.
Yeah. Aw, cool. I love fun things. I really think like it's a huge act of self-worth to reclaim fun because we live in a society that really harps on the fact that we need to be productive and we need to do things and have a clean home and have like all the chores done all the time and like stay on top. Like I have such a
That's so
different
much for a
perspective
human
now.
being.
What'd you say?
That's so much for a human being to do.
Right. Right. It is. Like we are meant to be present. And I think as we get to have more fun in our life and create more fun, and I hope that you listeners listening, that my wish for you is to embrace more fun in your life because I really feel like it'll help heal you in so many ways because it did for me. And
Oh, it
I
absolutely did for me as well. Like, I didn't think that I would, like I said, play with Legos, but then my roommate got me the Friends set because that Friends, when I asked you earlier, is there a show that like you rewatch? Friends is one of those shows for me. I own it on DVD. I have literally 2 sets of it because the first set, like, that's how much I like watched it. But one year for Christmas, my roommate at the time got me the Friends Lego set, and my husband got me the Friends on DVD. And I researched it. I'm like, do not get me it on Blu-ray. Get it for me on DVD, because on DVD they have the extra 30 seconds or a minute per episode. Blu-ray just gives you what they put on TV. I don't want that.
Oh.
But anyways, I remember them asking my best friend, do you think Michelle would like this? And my best friend was like, yeah. And then my best friend like completely forgot. And I opened it and I was like, this is really cool. And I like started building it, and I'm like, I was getting closer to the end, and I'm like, I want to build another one. So like I say to like my husband all the time, I want the sets that I want. I know there's a lot of sets, but I don't want all of them. So yeah, like it brings me joy. And like my husband jokes all the time with our roommate and is like, you're the reason why she has this expensive hobby. And my roommate is usually like, and you're welcome. Like
I know.
Like for Christmas this year, I was given a really nice gift card for Lego, because Legos are expensive.
Yeah.
And I will probably be buying myself a set that I like could have only dreamed of buying soon. And I'm so excited to build it. Like basically, like I have 2 sets in the closet, and I was like, I will never be that person. I will never have sets just waiting in the closet. I'm building the Nightmare Before Christmas set right now. I have the Lilo and Stitch house, and I have another like tiny one from One Piece that my roommate got me a couple months ago when I was like having a really stressful week. And they like, I got this email saying you have a package, and it was like really, really creepy. So like I messaged my roommate, who like is no longer my roommate, and was like, hey, I got this like email saying that it was from you and you sent me something from Amazon, and I was just wondering, like, did you actually send me something? And they sent me a voice note, for the love of God, Michelle, open your front door. And there was a little bag, and it had a Lego set in it that I never would have bought myself. So like it's kind of nice just having like friends that like also embrace your hobbies. Like they are a painter and they're an artist and they're trying to like make a sticker business. And you know, like my husband wants to create a video game. He's got 4 ideas in his head, and he was like, okay, you know me better than most people, so I'm going to send you all 4 of them, and I want you to tell me which one you think right now I would be in the mood to make. He sends them all to me. I'm like, babe, these are like different parts of your personality. You could do literally all 4 of these, but I think the one that you need right now is this one. And he was like, okay, you're right. That's the one I'm going to work on. Okay.
Yay. Aw, that's so sweet.
It is. Like, he's a cosplayer, and we've only done 1 cosplay together. We have so many ideas, but we've never actually like done them. But like, yeah, like I mean, embracing your inner nerd, embracing your inner child and all of that. And I get to do that on Saturday, and I'm really excited.
Yay. Oh, that's so fantastic. Well, I hope you keep us posted on how it goes. And we can definitely talk more about fun as we go forward in our podcast. We're so grateful that our listenership is here this many episodes in, and we're not stopping here. There's so much to talk about in terms of the healing journey.
April Fools.
Stop. Oh my God, I love it.
Well, anyways, thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Yes, sounds good. Thanks. Thank you for listening to this episode of All Things Mental.
Please follow us on social media at All Things Mental Podcast to let us know how this episode helped you on your healing journey.
Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts so that you don't miss an episode.
And remember,
you are not broken.
You're just becoming a more beautiful version
of your higher self.